Hey everybody, welcome to Frannie's Square. Today I'm going to show you how to make these mosaic granny squares. Okay, so as you probably know, I love mosaic crochet, and I especially love it when you don't have to worry about a ton of ends to weave in. Just like in the headband / neck warmer I made, and if you didn't see that tutorial, I'll put a link here. We worked that in the round so you didn't have a ton of ends to weave in. For the granny squares, we're just going to go around and around and keep reattaching the other color as we move, so you won't be cutting and having a ton of ends. The beauty of mosaic crochet is that you can get intricate designs, and the back, it's like a magic trick, is just basically striped, or in this case it goes around because we're going around. You can see here is where I am continuing to carry my yarn. Still, all in all, the back of it looks nice. The reason that the back looks like this when you have two different designs on the front is because you're always creating the design on the front of mosaic crochet. And that's done by crocheting into the back loops of stitches, and you leave the front loop hanging out, and you attach, anytime you want to draw a line like this, you do a double crochet into the front loop of the row below, or 2 rows below. So that creates a line, and that's how you make your design. Now, granny squares you can use for so many things. You can sew them together to make blankets. You could just make one big. You can continue this pattern and just make it as big as you like. So you could make a big square blanket if you like. You could make trivets, coasters, you could make clothing, you could make 4 large granny squares and make a poncho. And I did make a poncho out of 4 granny squares. I'll put the link here so you can go check that out. And you can do that with mosaic granny squares. The possibilities are endless. I'm so excited about this. And as time goes on, I intend to do more and more mosaic patterns. As I always do, I will show you the yarn and the hook size that I use, but you can use anything you like. I used all cotton because I intend to make these bigger and make them into trivets. I can never have enough trivets around this house. I don't know what happens to them. Now, I used just 2 colors. Another thing you can do is keep one color constant, let's say like the navy here, and each of the other rounds, you could add a different color in. That will require more weaving in of ends. So I used just 2 because I hate to weave in a ton of ends, but you can change it up any way you like. All right, enough talking. Let's go make these. So for these 2 squares, I used this Re-Up yarn, which has been discontinued by Lion Brand. It's a 4-weight yarn, and for that I used a 5mm crochet hook, and then of course my scissors and yarn needle. I didn't have the labels on these to show you, but this is the same brand, just in different colors. This time, I'm going to go a little bit more muted in my colors, and I'm going to use Rainbow 100% cotton because I do want to use this as a trivet, and cotton can take heat. I don't want to use anything that could melt like acrylic. That's why I've been using cotton yarns for these, but if you're going to make a garment, you can use any yarn you like. This is a 3-weight yarn, so I'm going to step my hook size down to a 4mm, use the scissors and needle, and I'm going to use this color, which is number 28. And then I'll use a white color. I think this is color 01. Cream is 02. So, but I want to use the white. All right, so the first one I'm going to show you how to do is this one here. And I'm going to make the center the white. So I'm going to start with the white. And the first thing I'm going to do, and if you look at the back here, you can see I did the center in the navy, and then the next round I made it into a square in the navy. So we're going to do that same thing. Okay, so to start, I'm going to make a magic circle, and to do that, I lay the tail in my hand here, and I wrap around these 2 fingers and make an X, and I grab with that finger there. Then I go under with my hook and grab this and pull it up. And then I go get that piece that I'm holding with my finger and pull it through. Okay, and that makes my magic circle. So if you need to, just rewind that and watch how I did that. You can also chain a few stitches and just slip stitch that together. I like the magic circle because you can really pull it tight. Okay, now I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to do 16 single crochets into the center of the circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so there's my 16 stitches. And then I'm going to take the tail and just pull it tight. It makes a nice little circle. And I'm going to go to my first stitch here, go under that first stitch, and let me drop the tail there. And I'm just going to slip stitch to join that circle, just like that. Okay, so now you have 16 stitches around. And now I'm going to chain one, and we're going to start to make our square. So what we're going to do is crochet in the back loop only. Okay, because in Mosaic crochet we want to leave this front loop hanging out so we can attach to it when we want to make lines. So I'm going to do a single crochet into the back loop of the first 3 stitches, 2, 3. Okay, in the 4th stitch I'm going to create my first corner. So to do that, I'm going to do a single crochet into the back loop, then I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do another single crochet into that same stitch into the back loop of that same stitch, just like that. Okay, and that's creating my corner. Now in the next 3 stitches I'm going to crochet into the back loop only. Okay, and then in the 4th stitch I'm going to create my next corner. My corners will always be the same. A single crochet into the back loop, chain 2, and another single crochet into that back loop. Okay, again I'm going to single crochet into the back loop of the next 3 stitches, and I'm going to make a corner in my next stitch. I'm going to single crochet into the back loop, 2 chains, single crochet, that creates my corner, and the last stitches, single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and in that last stitch I'm going to make my corner, single crochet, oops, chain 2, and single crochet all into the back loop. Okay, so after you make that corner, you're going to skip your chain 1 and go to your first stitch and slip stitch that shut. There we go. All right, so now what we want to do is add the next color. To add the next color, I'm just going to make a loop and pull that through, and I like to pull it tight. There we go. And make a chain. Okay, now on each side, it's probably easier to see it on a side where I didn't slip stitch, you're going to have your corner and you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in between. Okay, so we're going to start. We have our corner here, and then we have 1, 2. We're going to start in this next stitch here, and we're going to go into the back loop and do a single crochet. 1, 2, and when we come around, this is 3, we will make our last 2 on this side. There you go. Now into the corner, I'm going to make another corner, so I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and another single crochet into that corner, and then I'm going to continue around. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. Okay, so you have to make sure you catch that first one there. Go in and make your single crochet in the back loop. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to make my corner. Into the corner here, I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet. Okay, so you see your square coming along. Okay, and again, I'm going to go around. Don't forget to get that first stitch there. Sometimes it's hiding. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then going into that corner there, I'm going to make another corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet all into that same space, and 1, 2, 3, 4. This yarn splits a little bit, as you can see. 5. Okay, I'm going to go into the corner here. Chain 2. Go back into that corner. And we know we only have, this is my chain, 1, 2, 3 stitches. So I have to do my last 2 on this side. 1, 2. That's why counting helps. Skip my chain and attach to my first single crochet there. All right, and there we have it. That's that color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to my white. It's already attached, and I'm just going to pull that in and make a chain. And I can pull this tight. There we go. Now for this round, let's just take a look at what we have here. We have the corner, right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. So your side is going to increase by 2 each time. And the reason is the single crochets on each side of your corner become stitches on the side in the next round, because you're going to make your corner just into the chain 2 space. I hope that makes sense. So we're up to 7 stitches on each side. So for this, I want to go back on my center stitch, which would be the 4th stitch. I'd have 3 stitches on each side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm right there at that center stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the row below, and I'm going to catch the front of that stitch. I'm going to do a double crochet, so I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to come down here and just get my hook into there. There we go. Pull up, and then pull through 2 and pull through 2, and that creates my line in the center. So if you look at this, that is this line here. Okay, and then from there I'm going to do single crochet in the 3 remaining stitches on this side. Then I'm going to make my corner, which is a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet. Then don't forget this first stitch there. That's the easiest one to lose track of. I'm going to do 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches in the back loop only. Remember to leave those front loops hanging out. We're going to need them. Then I'm going to do a double crochet into that loop up there. So wrap my yarn, come down into this loop that's hanging out, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and there I have it. And then I have my next 3 stitches that I'm just going to do a single into the back loop only, and then I'm going to make my corner here, single, 2 chains, and a single. So you see this pattern starting to emerge. Isn't this pretty? I really just love mosaic crochet. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to go into the back loop of the first 3, 2, 3. In the 4th, we're going to grab this loop here, do a double crochet to draw our little line. Okay. And a single crochet into the next 3 back loops. All right, in the corner, I'm sure you guys got this down already. We're making our corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, and then here we go. 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches in the back loops only. Double crochet into that front loop. And then a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 2, 3, and then we're going to make our corner, single, chain 2, single, oops, and then we're going to do our last 3 stitches here on this side. 1, 2, 3, and our first was this double crochet, so we are going to slip stitch to that, and there you go. Now you guessed it, we're going to attach to the other color. Just pull the loop up and chain 1, and I like to pull it tight. There we go. All right, now for this round, what we're going to do is we want to make double crochets on each side of that first double crochet. So we're going to want to double crochet on this side and on this side. Now we're starting right here, so we're going to have to come back around to make that one. For the first one, we're going to do a double crochet into this front loop down here. Okay. And that'll be right next to my white one. Okay. And that is for this stitch here. Then I'm going to do a single crochet in the next 3 stitches in the back loops only. And then I'm going to go into the corner and make another corner. All right, don't miss this stitch here. We're going to do a single crochet into the back loop only. Oops. The one thing I do not like is how this yarn splits. Okay, and we're going to do that in 2 more stitches. And now we are at the stitch right before our double crochet. So we're going to do a double crochet into that front loop of 2 rows below. Then we're going to do a single crochet into the back loop of our double crochet. And then we want another double crochet on the other side of this. So we're going to do a double crochet into that front loop. There you go. And you can see the design. All right, so now we know 3 more single crochets into the back loop and make our corner. And then we start this side. Don't forget that first stitch there. Single crochet into the back loop. 3 stitches. We're going to double crochet right before. And the beauty of mosaic crochet is that you can see what you have to do just by looking at your square. I just say, oh, my double crochet is here and I know I want this color on each side. So I do one before it, then I single crochet into the back loop of the double crochet, and then I do one after it, a double crochet after it. So anytime you want to draw a line, you're doing a double crochet into the front loop of the row before of the same color, which is actually 2 rows before. All right, and then single crochet into the next 3 back loops and make my corner. Okay, come up this side. And I know that I want the double crochet right before my white one, so I'm going to do that there. Then a single crochet into the back loop, and then another double crochet. Sometimes it's tough to get that, to see that little loop. There we go. And then 3 single crochets into back loops in the next 3 stitches. There we go. And you can see it has a really different look just using these different colors. These are more muted. I'm coming to my last side here, so I'm going to do the 3 single crochets. Our first stitch was this double crochet, so we need to go into the back loop of our white double crochet, and then we need to slip stitch to our first stitch, which was that double crochet. And there we go. Looks pretty. All right, now basically we're going to continue this pattern around to make this as big as we want. All right, so I'll start this round for you and you'll see how this pattern just continues, and then you can continue it and make it as big as you like. So I'm going to attach my white and chain 1, pull it tight. All right, so now we see that we have the blue stripes here, the blue double crochets surrounding the white. Now what we want to do is white double crochets surrounding the blues. We're just going to keep expanding out. So my first stitch is going to be a double crochet, because it's right next to this one, pulling up that loop, making it there. Okay, and when we come back around, we'll do the one over here. Now, 3 stitches of single crochet in the back loop only, and do the corner. Okay, I'm going to do a full side here so you see it. So I'm going to go into this back loop only for 3 stitches, 2, 3, and you notice it's always 3 on each end because where we're expanding is in the center. I'm always adding 2 in the center. So now I'm going to do my double crochet next to the blue, before the blue, Then I'm going to do 3 single crochets across here until I get to the other side. So 3 singles in the back loops. There we go. And then when I get to the other side here, I'm going to do a double crochet. And then 3 single crochets in the back loops. And when I get to my next corner, I will just make a corner. And so that's how you continue the pattern. And each round, you will be expanding in the center. So my next round, I'm going to have a blue on this side and a blue on this side. Okay? So just continue that and make it as big as you like. And you can see on the back, it's just creating stripes. I just love this. All right, let's get to the other square. Okay, so to start this square, again, I'm going to make my magic circle. So I lay my tail across my hand like that, wrap around and make an X. I'm going to take my hook under this side and over this side and pull it up and twist, and then grab this yarn and pull that through, and that makes my magic circle. Now this time I'm going to single crochet, I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet 8 single crochets into the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. And then I'm going to just pull this tight. I'm going to go over to my first single crochet and slip stitch that together, just like that. Okay. Next, I'm going to add my other color. So I'm going to pull up my blue, I'll pull this tight, and I'm going to chain 1. There we go. Now it's in nice and tight. With the working yarn, I'm going to make 2 single crochets into the back loop of each stitch around, which will give me 16 total single crochets. So remember, just to work into the back loop, because in Mosaic crochet we need those front loops hanging out to attach to. Go all the way around. I really like these colors together. This will go nicely in my kitchen. I will make these into trivets. Okay, coming to our last stitch. This is stitch 15 and 16. And then slip stitching to my first, not my chain, but to my first stitch. There we go. Okay. Now we want to make this into a square. So we're going to take our white and we're going to bring that in and chain 1 and just pull tight. There we go. And now in the first 3 stitches, I'm going to go into the back loop and do a single crochet, and then in this next one I'm going to make a corner, same way we did before. Single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. Next 3 stitches, single crochet into the back loop. Next one, we're going to make our next corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. There we go. Next 3 stitches, we're going to single crochet into the back loop. and make our corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. Okay, and then the next 3 stitches, single crochet into the back loop, and we'll make our corner in the last one, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and we slip stitch to our first stitch here, and there we go, we have our square. Next we'll pull up the other color, chain 1, and I'm going to pull this tight again. Okay, so on each side, let's look at a side where I didn't attach, it makes it easier. Here's our corner, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, and then the next corner. Okay, so here's our corner, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our next corner. So our third stitch is right in the center here, and that's our next stitch, and that's where we're going to do our front loop double crochet. So it's starting out the same way as the other one, but we're going to change it. Now we're going to do a single crochet into the back loop of the next stitch, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the front of the next stitch. And basically for this pattern, what's happening, just so you can see, this one you'll see that every other stitch is going to be a double crochet that's continued up, versus this one where we started in the center and then started working out from there, and that's what creates the different look. Okay, so now we are at the corner. We're going to make the corner, which is a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Now in our first stitch, which is right there, we want to again do the double crochet in the front, and that first one's kind of hard to see, so make sure you don't miss that. Okay, then the next stitch we're going to do a regular single crochet in the back loop. Then in the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet in the front. Then in the next stitch, we're going to go into the back loop and just do a single. And the next stitch, we're going to do a double into that front loop. Okay, so you can see it's every other. Now we're going to make our corner. Chain 2, single crochet, and we're going to do the same thing along this side. We don't want to miss that first stitch. We're going to double crochet down into that loop, like that. Then we're going to do a single crochet into the back loop of the next stitch, a double crochet into that front loop here, a single crochet into the back, and a double here, sometimes you have to make sure you're pulling the right one. And then into the corner, we make our corner. This is really easy once you start it and get it going, because then you just follow what you did in the last round, and it's so simple. Oops, as I'm talking I make a mistake. Okay, so we finished the corner. Now in the first one we're going to do a double crochet down into that front loop, single crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet down into this front loop, a single crochet into the back loop, and on the last stitch here, a double crochet down into the front, make our corner, single crochet, 2 chains, single crochet, And now our first stitch, we're going to double crochet down into the front loop. Grab that guy there. And single crochet into this back loop here. And then we're going to slip stitch to our first stitch. And there you have it. All right, I'm going to show you another round, and after that, I am sure you will be good to go to continue this on as big as you would like to make it. So we're going to pull our next color in, chain 1. All right, so we want the whites now to be the double crochets because we're working on white. So we're going to double, go down into that front loop. It's so easy to see now. Then in this, we're going to single crochet into the back. And then down here, you have to kind of pull that apart to see it. You're going to double crochet down into the front loop. And sometimes it's hard to see down there. And you have to pull it with your finger or a hook just to get it to stick out a little bit. Just the ones close to the corner. I'm going to double crochet and go into that front loop there. There we go. Now I'll make my corner. Single, 2 chains. Okay, finish making my corner. All right. Now for this first stitch, I'm going to double crochet down below. Sometimes it's hard to find that one. You might have to pull it out with your finger. Get off of there, you blue. There we go. Like that. All right, and then we'll single crochet into the back of the next, and then double crochet into the white below, and single crochet into the back of the blue, double crochet into the front of the white, just like this, all the way down. Here's another corner one, not always easy. There we go. All right, now we're going to make our corner. Okay, and our first stitch is right here. Again, not the easiest to see. I'm going to double crochet and come down into this. Into this corner stitch here. And it is helpful if you have a hook with a pointy end to kind of dig in there. I'm going to just lift that a little bit. And what you may want to do is use your needle to pull up this front loop like that, so it's sticking out, and then do your double crochet into it. I find I need to do that sometimes in the corners, nowhere else but in the corners. Okay, next I'm going to do a single crochet into the back loop of the blue and a double crochet into the front, picking up that white. And I'm just going to keep continuing that all the way around. And then as you go, your next row will be blues. You'll attach to the blue front loops. And that's all you do, and just continue, and it gets bigger and bigger like that. Okay, I hope you found that tutorial helpful. If you do make these granny squares and make them into other projects, I would love for you to submit pictures and descriptions for Crochet and Tell. And you can do that by sending your description of the yarn you used, how you used it, how you made your project, whatever you want us to know. Send that with pictures to my email address at franniesquare@gmail.com. Also, if you have any questions about this project or any project really, you can send an email to my email address or you can put it in the comments below the video. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. If you enjoy this content, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up below the video. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Remember to make it your own, and I'll see you soon.